If you think posting more content is the secret to sales, think again. I sold out my offer with just one story, no audience, no ads. And that one story helped me grow to 8,000 followers in just 3 months. And the best part, I know it's not just about the numbers. These were actually engaged people who actually wanted my offer. They connected to my story. Today, I'll show you the hooked on story framework that I use to sell my offer with just one story. If you want the full cheat sheet with prompts and examples, I will link it down below. You can grab that before you go. Hi, I'm Trish, and I help creators sell with simple stories that actually sell. Here's the thing. A lot of people think that we buy with logic, and yes, logic has its place, but really it's emotions that drives people to move and to buy your offer. We feel it in our bodies before we even think about it. It's like when your favorite song comes on, you don't think about it, you just feel the beat and you start grooving. And that's the magic to a great story. It changes how someone feels about your offer. So it becomes their idea, not yours. When I first started my online business, I did everything everyone tells you to do. To post more content, get more traffic, especially if you're doing no ads, post educational tips, show up every day, know, like, trust, blah, blah, blah. On the outside, my goal was simple, just to help people and make more sales. But on the inside, I just wanted to feel confident, feel seen, feel heard. So I kept posting and posting and nothing changed. I felt like I was handing people random pieces of puzzles without actually showing them the picture on the box. They only had information, but they didn't have the vision. I believed the lie that more posts equals more sales. So I posted more. I spent more money on courses. I second thought myself all the time. I tried trending reels. I even discounted my courses thinking they were just too expensive. Every day I refreshed my numbers to only see 0. And that really drained me because I was putting in so much work. And I know that you're supposed to put a lot of work at the beginning of your business. But I felt like I had no return, and it had been a very long time since I started. So that's when doubt started to kick in. I started to think to myself, maybe I should just quit. Maybe this is just not for me. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe no one cares, right? If you've ever felt like that, I feel you. Here's the truth. It's not you. It's actually the format. If you don't know how to market with a good story, you won't sell your offer. And someone who has a shitty offer but knows how to market well, they will win. They will get seen. So one day I tried something different. Not just a tip, but I actually told a nice, juicy story about my past. And it really connected with my audience. It was simple, it was honest, and it was true. And it was easy. And that's when the light bulb moment hit me. I was like, whoa, okay, people like stories. They don't just want the tips. You see, people buy for a promise of change, something that they can turn to in the future that will make them a better person. And here's what happened. I got hundreds of DMs, hundreds of comments in one weekend, and I could not keep up. It was champagne problems. And I got so many comments like, wow, so relatable. Are you in my head? I thought I was the only one. Same offer, same platform. But what changed? My format changed. My strategy changed. That shift led to more buyers, more eyes on my content, as well as more sales. And me, I finally felt this like calm. Like, wow, maybe this can work. Like, I had a hint of a motivation, a hint of momentum, and I just felt like I was finally being seen for all the hard work that I had put in. In this AI-driven world we live in right now, we need human stories. We need human connection. That's what's gonna drive more sales to your content. So if you're thinking more posts will fix your sales, think again. Try this one story trick, run it through the framework, and just watch what happens. So let's go over how to use this.
So this is future Trish. Okay, let's go. Hooked on story framework, how it works. Here, first we're gonna start with the hook, okay? We always need a hook for anything to stop the scroll. People have a very little attention span these days. Then we're gonna do S for story, so set the scene. Basically, this is the backstory, your before picture, what you were desiring, okay? And then we're gonna do tension, so it's like the struggle, the wrong belief that you had that was keeping you stuck. And then O for opening, it's like that aha moment that you had, like, oh yeah, or a light bulb moment, you could call it. Result is transformation, so it's not just result one word. It's kind of like the outside and inside. I'll explain that to you in a second. And then your turn, meaning you're going to replace their old belief with a new belief, and then you're going to do a CTA at the end, call to action. And then I go over how to use hooks here and examples for you. All right, let's go in a little bit deeper. So first we're going to set the scene. We're going to go over your backstory, your before story, what you were desiring at that moment. You're telling a story, right? So you're going to start by telling where you were before things got better with a relatable backstory, okay? So you're going to show both external and internal desires. So an external goal would be, I wanted money, I wanted more clients, I wanted more sales. An internal desire would be like, I wanted to be more confident, I wanted freedom, I wanted peace. And this is where your audience is like, oh, that I feel that, like that's me too. For example, I wanted to sell 10 spots in my course, outside goal, but I really just wanted to feel like people cared about what I was teaching, inside goal. And then tension is the struggle, the false belief that they have that you want to overcome with the new belief you're going to give them. So it's like the messy middle, what you tried, what failed, the frustrations that you felt. You know, the more description you can have with words, the more feeling they can have. So you're going to show the wrong belief that you had during that time, right? And you're going to call out this false wrong belief that kept you stuck. And this will make the audience feel seen, and it opens up like this loop in their brain. For example, I believe the only way to sell online was to post 3 times a day. I tried it, burnt out, and still barely made sales. And then we have the opening, the light bulb moment, which is like the breakthrough moment, turning point. This is where you shine the light on a better way that breaks that false belief that your audience has, your customer has. So you're going to share that aha moment. It's like the epiphany that you have. You're like, oh yeah. And then they're like, yeah. And so it's like a big realization that changes everything. And then you're going to frame it as an emotional shift, right? So it's going to go to that subconscious brain. It's going to not be a logical tactic, right? Then, for example, it's kind of like my light bulb moment came when I realized people don't buy with tips, they buy with transformation. That's when I stopped chasing posts and started sharing stories. And then we have R for result. So the after story, it's like the outside plus inside transformation, right? External and internal. So you're going to reveal the after, and it's like that makeover moment. Show what happened after, and you share both, like I said. So outside would be like, I got more money and I have proof and I have screenshots and DMs and the inside one would be like, I felt confident, I had more ease, I was more joyful, I was more free. And then an example would be within 30 days, my sales tripled. That's the outside one. The best part, I felt calm and confident for the first time in months. Oof, that feels good. Inside one. And then your turn. So you're going to invite them in. You're going to shift their belief. You're going to give them a CTA real quick, okay? You're going to invite them into the story. You're going to let them imagine themselves transforming. They're going to be like, wow, maybe I can do it. You're going to address their old belief directly. You're going to replace it with that new belief in the story. And they're going to feel this. They're going to feel it in their body before they even think with their brain, okay? And you're going to invite them to take action with your method, your product, your CTA. And this is where they step into the story with you. And this is when it's their idea, not your idea. And then this is when they become the hero of the story. It's really cool stuff. So for example, if you think more posts equals more sales, here's the truth. One good story can beat 30 random posts. Try my hooked on story framework to see for yourself. CTA, right? And then over here, I just give you more examples on how to use it for hooks, how to use it for a caption, how to use it for emails in different scenarios. So grab this cheat sheet that I made for you. It's pretty sweet. And I hope this helps.
So I had one of my friends actually run this framework for her small workshop that she was running. And instead of blasting tips all over the place and educational posts, she did one true story from her past about why one of her clients said yes to her offer. Her results, 900 views, 38 comments, 22 DMs, and 12 sales at $97 each. That's a 1.3 conversion rate. That's a great conversion rate. And roughly around $1,600 in her bank account that only took her about 10 minutes to put together. From a single post, just one story with a small audience, all organic. And you might be thinking, I don't have a big story, Trish. It's okay. We all have stories. Trust me. You just have to find a story that relates to your customer or that aha moment that you had. Most of us are the person that we used to be, and that's the person that we're trying to help, right? So we just have to dig deep into the person that we used to be and how we were feeling during those struggles. But Trish, my audience is too small. Actually, that's perfect. Right now, All platforms across the board, YouTube, Instagram, that I know of, are all trying to promote small followers because they want people to grow in their account. They want to push small creators so that small creators will start on their platform so they can make money for their platform. And then you might be thinking, Trish, I'm not good on camera. Trust me, it takes practice. Like with anything in life, it just takes practice. The more you do it, the more you can show up on camera. I used to be so nervous to show up on a live or even on camera and post something. And the more I did it, the more comfortable I got with it. And it actually happened pretty fast. Plus, there are so many AI tools today that can fix the way you look, that can fix your eye contact, that can fix so many things. You just have to show up and just speak one sentence at a time, and good lighting, okay? You just have to show up as yourself, not pretend to be anyone else, and it just makes it so much more easy that way. Now, if you want a shortcut, grab my cheat sheet down below. Make sure you don't miss it so you can apply this framework today. You'll get some ready-to-use hooks, ready-to-use ChatGPT prompts to make it really easy for you, and you can do this in under 10 minutes. So let's rewind. What did we cover today? Logic can matter, but emotion is what seals the deals for your customers. I shared my own before and after story. I shared the false belief I had, the light bulb moment, the proof, and a simple invite. I also showed you how to use my hooked on story framework that you can use to sell your offer, and an example of how you can apply it today. So here's what happened when I did all this. My DMs blew up, my engagement doubled, and sales started to finally roll in. And the best part, I didn't spend a single dime on ads, all organic. Look, platforms change, but storytelling, that's human connection. And humans don't change. So here's the next step. Pick one true story and run it through the framework and post it today. Do it. And if this was helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and tune in for next week where I will walk you through how you can use Pixar's framework of storytelling to sell your offer. And remember, grab that cheat sheet down below so you can start today. You've got this.